I'm here at the scene of the crime spree, right behind me.
Strange. Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He
that.
was served a federal subpoena this morning.
Did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
Most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
Well, this is a big story. Did you know that there is of course you didn't know. Who's going to tell you? WMBB? WJHG? Is the News Herald still around? Are they still around at all? The Bay County Commission lost $8.7 million. 8.72 if we're going to, look for all of it. And that's just what a forensic audit has found to this point in a class action lawsuit against the Bay County commissioners. You're not going to believe this story. It's got a few details that I need you to understand. So $8.7 million, why is nobody asking about it? Well, that's a good question. Normally they just circle the wagons. And normally we don't find out things unless there's a lawsuit, and there is. I'm going to show it to you. And it's in Bay County. It's in the Circuit Court, the 14th Circuit. Judge William Henry is presiding. And there is something known as the Builders Services Fund. Okay. So counties and cities will charge contractors permit fees, right? Imagine how much they get there. And those permit fees come into the county and they don't go into a general fund. All right. It's not like tax revenue where they can spend it on whatever they vote on. It is specifically to be spent on the building department. Maybe I think they can spend it on equipment, on training, on that sort of stuff. But what they're not supposed to be doing is charging so much that they have a boatload of money, right? They're not supposed to have a boatload of money in this Builders Services Fund. And they're not supposed to roll it over, at least not a lot of it. They can roll it over to the next year, but it has to be a certain amount by statute. It can only be the average of 1 year, according to the past 4 years. Okay. So they can't just roll over a whole bunch of money and then just, spend it on whatever they want to spend it on. They can't do that. It's illegal to do that. Well, the contractors who have been paying these permits, right? They're the ones who got stiffed, because when the next year rolls over, if there's a bunch of money that exceeds a 1 year average, that money is to be given back to the contractors. So when it's not given back to the contractors are robbed by the county. And now there's a class action lawsuit by the contractors about this. But it's brought to light through a forensic audit that there's a lot of money missing. $8.7 million. Nobody knows where it went. So these are permit fees, remember. It's not taxes. Can only be spent on very specific things. Now, after Hurricane Michael, the chairman of the Bay County Commission was Griff Griffiths. And there was this full-page ad in the News Herald. And in this full-page ad, Griff Griffiths, the chairman, said that he's going to do whatever it takes to rebuild Bay County, right? And we all needed help, God knows. These guys have just, since that hurricane, the amount of money that has been robbed, FEMA money, that's gone to contractors and kickbacks and all kinds of stuff. These people give lip service, but they really haven't done nearly what they could have done. Because when I tell you that Chairman Griffiths said that he's going to take money out of the building services fund because there's a bunch there and he'll just leave an IOU. But we're going to fix Bay County. This is our family. This is our community. These are our friends, right? That sounds good. And we needed help, God knows. But they had other ways to do that. And, you know, I mean, that's why the FBI is here investigating all of the FEMA money. So back then, Griff Griffith said, we're just going to use it. I mean, that's illegal. You can't do, I can't believe a county commissioner would say in a newspaper ad, I'm just going to take the money out of the Builders Services Fund and I'll leave an IOU. We'll get back to it later. But, you know, and that's what happened. So the lawsuit, the class action lawsuit was filed, I believe it was filed in March of 2020. Okay. So now here we are, and it's moving and grooving now. Depositions, forensic audits, lots of questions, and the county's not deny everything. I'll show you. In a lawsuit like this, there's a lot of discovery. And in discovery, you have, three written forms. You have what are known as admissions, right? You have interrogatories, and you have production. Production is like documents. Admissions are like, do you admit that there is a law that says you can't do this? Do you admit that this money's missing? That kind of thing. The county's like, denied. The resolution speaks for itself, denied. This is really super interesting. $8.7 million missing in a forensic audit. If I were on that county commission, I would be sweating more than Chris Como under oath. I mean, I would be a nervous wreck. All right, I want to show you the lawsuit and read to you some of the complaints so that we're up on this, or at least start to get up on this, because you're not going to hear it anywhere else right after this.
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome. So if you would like to look all this up, here's where you can go. Let's see here. All right, here's where you can go. This is the Bay County Clerk of Courts. Let me fix the blurriness issue real quick. All right. So this is the Bay County Clerk of Courts. The case is, let's see if I have a name here. We'll have a name on the other document I show you, but there's the case number. I mean, if you want to look this stuff up, case number is 2 and then 5 zeros. It's case 595 CA. 595 CA. And then 200000595 CA. But this is the case. It's active. It's in the 14th Circuit in Bay County, and Judge William Henry is presiding over it. All right, now let me share with you the complaint itself. This is unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe. that local news doesn't say forensic audit in a class action lawsuit alleges that Bay County is missing $8.7 million from a builder's services fund. All right, here is the third amended complaint. The complaint is the lawsuit. All right, this one was filed in March of 2021. The initial one was filed in March of 2020. This is an amended complaint. So it's Geisen Construction Inc. and Aloha Building Contracting LLC on behalf of themselves and a class of individuals and entities who are similarly situated, all right, versus Bay County. Now, the way these complaints work is you get all of the basic stuff early on. So let's go down here a little bit. And then there's background and talks about which statutes are being violated and when it was. The increased costs and delays are particularly problematic due to the devastation caused by Hurricane Michael, which has resulted in a pressing need for construction services to repair or replace damaged or destroyed structures. All right. And then it goes on. These are the laws that the county and everybody has to follow. And as we continue to go down in the complaint, talks about fee schedules. All right, this is all the basic background stuff in the lawsuit. But it's going to get hot here in a second when I go down a little bit more. All right, there we go. Fees charged to Geisen. So these are the fees charged to one of the plaintiffs, the lead plaintiff. Remember, these are the overcharges that the county overcharged contractors. They were supposed to refund the contractors, not spend the extra money on stuff that they're not allowed to spend it on. That's the allegation here. All right. And it goes on here. And then after Geisen, there's another plaintiff. Oh my gosh. Charging permit fees that include fees for building inspections is inconsistent with and in violation of the mandate of the private provider statute that the county may not charge fees for building inspections when a private provider is used. Charging permit fees that exceed a reasonable administrative fee is inconsistent with and in violation of, goes on. And here are the allegations from another one of the plaintiffs, Aloha, and it goes on, and initially it just gives some of the facts here. Says that since 2017, Aloha has paid the county fees related to building permitting requirements, building permits, and building code inspection services. Look at that. Around March of 2019, the county issued a permit for the construction of a new single-family dwelling, certain property. A private provider was used to perform the building inspections, right? Neither the county nor any person or entity on its behalf performed the building inspections, but yet the county charged Aloha, who paid the fees and permits. This all goes into this gigantic fund called the Builders Services Fund that the county can only use on certain things and cannot use it as sort of another tax revenue, which the allegations are they have been. Based on information and belief, the county also issued electrical, mechanical, plumbing, roofing, and other sub-permits for the Seabreeze Drive project. These, of course, will the plaintiffs will have to prove these things. Look at this. Charging permit fees, the county charging permit fees to the contractors that are not reduced based on the county's calculated cost savings when a private provider is used is inconsistent with and in violation of the law. And it goes on and on. This thing just goes on and on and on. Look at this. All right, let's keep going a little bit further down. Here is plaintiffs reallege. All right, this is getting too dense. These lawsuits, and I've become familiar with these because I've been engaged in a couple of these, 3, I think, with the city of Panama City Beach. Recoupment of illegal fees. Remember, the county if they're overcharging the contractors and putting it in a builder's services fund in order to take that money and spend it on whatever they want to spend it on, and not only what they're permitted to spend it on, that's illegal. So this is an action against the defendant, the county, for recoupment of illegal fees. It goes on and on. These things are quite something. And then, of course, they'll cite case law where they can't do that and all this. All right, enough of that for the moment. So that is the complaint. Let me tell you again the name of it if you want to look it up for yourself at the Bay County Clerk of Court. All right, let's go to the beginning. You can search for this by the case number. All right, and the case number, you can write it this way, 2020-CA-00595, or you have to remember all this stuff here. You can screenshot it, I suppose, and look it up. So that's not too difficult. So this is the actual lawsuit. Now, the reason this lawsuit's important is because during this lawsuit, the plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit did a forensic audit of this builder's services fund. The county had to give up their accounting, and evidently they're missing some money, $8.7 million. Now, what happens if this class action lawsuit, if they win against the county, and it's shown that the county has lost $8.7 million that, one, they shouldn't have had in the first place, right? They can't use the building services fund, which is funded by permit fees to contractors. They can't, first of all, have a boatload of money there. They certainly can't roll over a boatload of money. They can only roll over 1 year's average according to the last 4 years. Second problem they have is they can't spend it on any old thing. They can only spend it on certain things. I'm looking at some of your comments. Jen, that's so kind of you. Thank you. Hey, I've learned so much from you too, from you all too. I don't know anything about this stuff. That's the thing about being curious and being a watchdog, right? You learn about this stuff. And this is how they get away with it all, is because, first of all, so many of us don't know these things. Because why? Because the media don't tell us. I always say this: the extent to which there is public corruption is the extent to which the news outlets do not cover it. And the news outlets don't cover it anymore because they are public-private partners with these local governments, whether it's the cities or whether it's the county. That's why they don't want to risk losing money that they get from the county or from the city or from Mark Sheldon's slush fund known as the TDC money that he gets to put on the concerts, that he spends money with these companies, parent companies, so that they don't misbehave, right? But that's huge. Am I right? The extent to which there is public corruption is the extent to which news outlets don't cover it. And then those of us who do, they marginalize us, right? If you get a truth teller, the establishment that are all in on it, they try to say that guy is not telling the truth. But the problem is, you know what the problem is? You ready for this? Time is an appellate judge, right? If I tell you the truth and show you the documents long enough, the truth comes out. And then one side has credibility and the other side does not have credibility. And the reason I can tell you these things is because I'm independent. And by the way, if you want to support my work, here's one way you can do it. You can become a patron at patreon.com/Bernie Thompson for as little as $5 a month. It's anonymous. Nobody can know it's you. It's easy, and you can quit at any time. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. Also, if you'd like more people to know about these stories, you can share and tag your friends. And yeah, you want to see some of their answers for the for the admissions. So they were asked a bunch of questions. The plaintiffs asked the county, do you admit this? Do you admit this? Do you admit this? And then the county can admit it or the county can deny it. Which do you think they did? I'm going to show you the document right after this. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan can make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. All right, let's take a look at the county's admissions. All right, this is their admissions or denials in this lawsuit. All right. Let's see, am I on the right one? Right here. Okay. Again, this is the class action lawsuit against Bay County. Defendant, the county, their answer and defenses to the plaintiff's third amended class action complaint. The general allegations are, one, they admit, we don't have the question. One, they admit something, right? Denied. Without knowledge, therefore, they don't know anything either, by the way. They don't know anything about the missing $8.7 million. They don't know anything about the Builders Services Fund. They don't know anything about all that money that they charge permits to the contractors for and then spend that money on all kinds of stuff they're not supposed to spend it on, according to the lawsuit. Without knowledge, they just don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Denied, admitted. And then they were probably asked on number 7, do you admit that the Building Services Fund is not a tax? It's a permit fee and can only be spent on the building department, something like that. And then the county says Florida Statute 553.80 speaks for itself. That's called an admission. Denied as character. Denied. They don't know. Deny. Statute speaks for itself. They don't even say admitted. Statute speaks for itself. Denied is characterized. 14, whatever that question was, they admitted. Background stuff. Look at that. Deny. The private provider statute speaks for itself. Denied is characterized. I'm looking constant. They don't know. And then it goes on and on. These are all about fee schedules. Deny. Boy, this is going to be interesting. Oh, lots of denials by the county. Denied. All right. I don't know what all these questions. This is huge lawsuit. But I thought you might find it interesting that there is a class action lawsuit against the Bay County Commission, essentially Bay County, because the county charges contractors permit fees. They allegedly have overcharged. And I've heard this about the cities too, by the way. If anybody had the time to look into the cities, all of the cities, Callaway, Panama City Beach, Panama City, Lynn Haven, you look at the Builders Services Fund, the money they have in those funds, how much is in there? What's it being spent on? Could you imagine if a forensic audit was done on every city with respect to the Building Services Fund? I'm a big believer in forensic audits, and I don't mean ones that the cities do on themselves. Kind of like when Panama City Beach did an outside a third-party investigation into whether or not we broke the law at Popeye Park. They hired an attorney to represent them, and he was the investigator. And just like the crooked cop in Casablanca, he didn't see anything. He was shocked to even hear these allegations. So, all right. So far, that's what I know. But I wonder if this is something that the FBI would be interested in, or the Bay County Sheriff's Department would be interested in, or the state attorney's office would be interested in. if the county cannot identify where $8.7 million went from the Builder Services Fund. That would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? And you know who else should do some research into that if we had any kind of press at all? WMBB, WJHG, the News Herald. Please don't forget there's two things I want to tell you. If you just want to remember these two things. One, the extent to which there's public corruption is the extent to which the press has stopped covering it, right? Number two, and this is huge, when the county gave the documents that allowed a forensic audit to be conducted, do you think, I know this is what Panama City Beach does, they try to make, especially with the, oh geez, I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank on something so big. Let me look at your comments. CRA, the Community Redevelopment Agency. That's what the CRA, Community Redevelopment Agency. Oh my God, they got tons of money in there. And that also can only be spent a certain way. But when you ask them to show you, how are you spending the CRA money? It's so convoluted that it's hard to track down. This is the second thing I want you to remember. You ready? It's 3 words. Complexity masks fraud. That's why we need forensic auditors, people who can sift through all the Bolshevik, right? Cut through the thick of thin things and find what's important. We need more forensic audits. The TDC should be audited. Every city should be audited. And sure, we could start with the Builders Services Fund. And they have in Bay County. All right, I just wanted to share this with you. Clearly, lots more to follow. Thank you to the Unknown Patriot and the rest of you who support my efforts. And I will be back soon.